So I'm getting ready to go in. This is the Christian Life Center. I'm getting ready to go in and share my testimony. I'm so excited. So you guys can come on and watch. Alright, so I am getting ready to go in and speak here at the Empowered Women's Summit here in Tampa, Florida. I'm so excited. Actually, this is probably the first time I'm getting to speak at an event right here in my own city. That's not my church. So come on and follow me. It's so much fun here. It's so beautiful. And you can get to see how this event is empowering women right here in our very own backyard. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's go.
So I'm gonna jump right in. The Lord is amazing. He delivered me from 10 years of shame dealing with abortion. At the age of 17, between 17 and 18, I just found out I was pregnant. The two double lines. I was freaked out. I was so scared of my parents, of my church, of my friends, of everyone at school, to let them know that right as I'm getting through the transition from going to high school to college, I'm pregnant. There's no way I can be pregnant. I'm a pastor's daughter. Where at that time he was just a minister, but we all knew he was going to be a pastor. And so there was no way I could tell my church and my family that the girl that just graduated high school, first to go to college in her family, is pregnant, right? So what did I do? I went on Google and I researched abortion clinics in Tampa. And I found Planned Parenthood, and after finding Planned Parenthood, I made my first appointment, and I made my way there secretly and had an abortion experience. And from that day, I remember leaving that clinic and telling myself this will never happen again. But guess what? It became a shame. It became a tool and a cycle of hiding what I was really dealing with, which was insecurity and sexual sin and people pleasing and judgment, of myself, and I used to judge others. And so because of all of that, I had to do what I thought was best to hide that pain. At the age of 23, I remember getting in an argument with my parents, and I told them, you guys don't know who I really am. You think I'm this good girl, which they really didn't, because I was a hot mess. But you think I'm this girl that I just graduated college. I was doing great for myself. And I told them that you don't really know who I am. I was ready to tell them who I really was. And they said, well, tell us. And I remember that day my dad said, well, come to my office. Me and your mom will be there. And you can come tell us whatever you want to tell us. And I said, okay. So I took one of my friends with me. And I remember walking into his office, and I sat down, and in that office I told them, Mom, Dad, I've had abortions, multiple abortions at that point. I've been hiding the secret because I thought that you guys would abandon me if you found out that I had gotten pregnant, not married. And I remember that night, my mom was sitting in the room, and she just looked over at me, and she smiled at me, and she just hugged me. And my dad said, what did you think we were gonna do? I said, well, what you always told me you were gonna do was just kick my butt. He said, no, did you really think we were gonna abandon you? And I said, yeah, because I had seen it happen in the church before. I had seen it happen with my own sister. I had seen my sister become 15, 16 years old and have a baby. I had heard about my mom getting pregnant at 15 and 16 and having my sister. So there was no way I was gonna go through that myself. And so when I told him, my dad said, you know what, we're gonna get you counseling, we're gonna help you through this. And at this time, he was a pastor. Well, time had gone by, and we just kind of put it, to the side. I had gotten free in that area, at least telling them, because that was the one thing the devil did. He told me, if your parents find out, all hell is gonna break loose. So that was one big area that he kept me in bondage, was my parents knowing. So once I told them, God still had a work to do. Well, after that, a few years later, I remember telling God, like, I really want to get free from this thing. I feel like I am, but I'm really not. And so the Lord would have a creative way to lead me to an organization. I went to this prayer house, and at this prayer house, they had these red wristbands, and on the wristband it said the word life. And I was like, what is this? It was an organization called Bound for Life. And what they do is they go in front of abortion clinics and they pray. And I had no idea that there was a Tampa chapter. I just wanted to know what it was about. So I found out there was a lady on Facebook who had just started a Tampa chapter, and I went. And I remember emailing her the day before I went, and I told her, listen, you don't want me because I've had abortions. You probably want somebody that's perfect, that's never done that kind of thing, to come out there and pray for other women not to get abortions. And she said, you know what? Actually, no, I have had abortions too. And God's delivered me. And what more of a way to now let God use you to pray for those who are walking in those clinics. God is so good. So I went that Wednesday, and when I tell you guys, God literally set up every part of the healing journey for me from that point. When I got there on that Wednesday, that woman stood out there, the woman that was the leader of the chapter, after we got done praying in front of the abortion clinic, and we're standing out there with red tape over our mouths. And I'm standing out there like I'm, all cool and collected. I got my shades on, but I'm really nervous and freaking out. I'm standing there, and she says, you know what? I've had abortions too. And the Lord led me to healing. I'm 50 years old now. The Lord led me to healing. 3 years ago, I was 47. And she said, there's a ministry called Surrendering the Secret. And this ministry is a post-abortion healing Bible study created just for women who have had abortions, so that way they can see how God loves them and still cares for them and has a plan and a purpose for them after they have done that. And I was like, are you serious? There's no way this is this. So this ministry had existed all these years, 10 years, up until 2017, 2018. I found out about this Bible study. And I was like, I have to go. And she said, well, guess what? I'm going to be starting one in a couple months, and you can come. And literally, it was actually an hour away that I had to drive to get there, but I drove every week to get to that Bible study. And then here's the awesome part. Thank you. Yes, God is so good. It was so hard to get there, and I'm doing the super short version. But the Lord would have it that literally, as soon as I was done going through the 8-week Bible study with my 2 group leaders. I was the only student, by the way. God would have it that way, knowing me. So I finished the beginning of that month of August. By the end of the month, the Lord would have me meet the author of the book, of the curriculum. And I was able to serve her for a year, the author that wrote the curriculum that I would do. And then she paid my way to go to my first pro-life women's conference last year. And the Lord has now partnered me with other pro-life leaders in the community. And my passion now is to reach out to our Black community, our Black women, and say, hey, abortion is real. Here's what it is. Here's why you don't want to do it, because of the shame and the pain and the risk that comes with it. But then here's how you can get involved. Because there's such a need for more Black women and men to get involved into the pro-life community. And so God He has completely changed and wrecked and turned my whole purpose around. I never thought I would be up here speaking about this. But because of His goodness, how can I not talk about Jesus? So thank you so much. God is awesome.
OMG. Listen, getting to go speak at the 2019 Women Empowered event was amazing. Listen, that opportunity, I just want to thank my dear sister Ann Thompson for giving me this awesome opportunity, and also Pastor Vanda Jacobs. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, for hearing my story, for believing in my story, and just really believing that I had a message that I could share with your women, with the women that you have called out to come to that event. So it was so excellent. Oh my goodness. Listen, I love events that go all out, like stage props, creativity, program, music, food. Oh my gosh, y'all, listen, the food there was amazing. I don't even think we got to record the food that was laid out. I know we got some video of like the pretty layout, but the food, once we start eating, that was it. There was no more recording. But it was amazing, and I was just so honored to be there and getting to share my story live for the first time not on YouTube. So that was amazing. And it was just an amazing, amazing turnout to see everyone just love on everyone. And all these women, I mean, I think I was the youngest one. Yeah. And up until about 70 years old, women were sharing their testimonies, sharing their stories. And it's so beautiful to see, because that's what I believe in, that if we share our story, we can inspire someone else to share their story. Why hold on to that? Especially if you've been free from it. Why hold on to that? Why not give another person an opportunity to benefit from your freedom? You know what I'm saying? So listen, I want to encourage you, if you've been struggling to share your testimony and you know like you have an amazing story that you would love to share with the world, put it out there however you have to. It doesn't have to be video. It can be writing it. It could be a podcast. It can be video. It can be through a skit, a dance, however you need to do it. Whatever creative art form you want to share your story, do it. You never know who needs to hear your story. Don't hesitate, and the opportunities that come from them are endless, because to be honest, we all need each other. We all need to hear someone else that went through that very thing we're struggling with and going through right now. So don't hesitate. Don't worry about what people are going to say about you, or worry about what if they don't like how I share it, or what if I can't articulate it well. Do you share your story how you want to share your story, because at the end of the day, it's your story, it's your testimony, it's your history with you, with God, with your family, your friends, whoever's involved. Share it, and you don't have to give too many details. That's one big fear I used to have, like, dang, I gotta tell them everything. No, you share what you want to share. You make it compelling enough that they want to hear more. You share just a little bit to get their appetite whet, to point them back to resources, or to point them to Jesus, or to point them to whatever their next step is that they've been looking to get to. Just share enough that you know, I can make an impact with this, and you never know where it may lead. Man, listen, Florida has definitely poofed up my baby hairs, my hair, so I had to wrap it up for you guys. Today was just so hot and humid, and I had to go wrap it up and make a little updo, whatever this is. I don't know if you can see it, but make some twist, something to put it away, because it was too much. Thank you again for watching. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Facebook. It's all at Janisha Unveiled. It's not hard to find me. I try to keep it consistent. And if you want to see more, let me know. Send me a DM. Man, don't hesitate. I love talking to people. You can ask anyone that I've already connected with through social media. Thank you for watching.